You have found yourself on Locked On Bulls. On today's episode, me and Pat the designer will be breaking down the Bulls' loss against the Bucks, Billy Donovan's coaching in that loss, and then we'll also be asking the question, why do the Bulls struggle against top teams? All that and more on today's Locked On Bulls.
You are Locked On Bulls, your daily podcast on the Chicago Bulls, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
What's going on? Thank you for making Locked On Bulls your first listen. Locked On Bulls, a member of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today, me and Pat the designer, we got some things to talk to you guys about. We're jumping right into it. The Bulls lost handedly to the Milwaukee Bucks. We got all that positivity after last night's game against the Raptors, all that stuff. Let's go ahead and snatch all that back. Let's go ahead and be like, hey, listen, hold this L, fam. Man, Pat, we were very positive last night. We're so happy to get a win after a losing streak. We went live, unplanned last night's episode. If you guys listen to this after fact, you'll see we did not go live today. But
let y'all sit in this one. We'll be live. This will be up tomorrow.
Exactly. How do you feel about this loss, Pat?
Listen, I told y'all last night in the Raptors game, if you shoot the way you shot versus a better team, they will put you away. That's what happened. I keep hearing, I heard Stacy say it. I heard it on, some other platforms that won't be named on this month. I heard it. I've heard it continuously that Kobe White's foul on Covington is what specifically put the Bulls out of this game. That is stupid.
Yeah.
That is a dumb thing to say because there was a ton of basketball left. This team is a team that can go on runs, but here's the thing. When you can't score on one end and you play poor defensively on the other, guess what happens? You lose basketball games. This isn't surprising. We watched this all last season. Y'all remember that? When we had 31 total wins? I remember that. It sucked. Guess what? Tonight sucks. But here's the thing. I'm not surprised. I'm not going to come in here and act surprised. The Bulls have a 9-minute scoring drought. They had a 5-minute scoring drought at one time. Then they had a 2-minute scoring drought. Then they had a 1-minute scoring drought. Then they had a 1-minute scoring drought. Guess what happens? When on the other side of that, Milwaukee's dropping buckets, you lose the game. I'm enjoying my basketball team for what my basketball team is. We're improved. We're better. And tonight is just another example of, guess what? You're playing against the world champion, the reigning world champion right now, and they're a better basketball team than you are. And that's all it is. There's nothing to dig deep in here about. The Bulls didn't knock down shots. If the Bulls don't knock down shots, it is, you know what I'm saying? Like there's nothing where I can be like, this is the exact moment where the Bulls the game really got away from them. We talk about the 13-0 run or the 11-0 run. Which one you want to pinpoint? Like, we really sitting here talking about Kobe White's foul on Pat Connaughton. Like, come on, dog. Like, he got 3 free throws. Play the other way. There was 3 quarters after that. I ain't here for it, dog. I love Stacey. Don't disrespect Stacey at all. Don't disrespect Stacey at all. I love Stacey. But I kept hearing them say that. It was like, it really got away from the Bulls there. And it's like, well, get back. Like, what'd you see tonight, dog? I mean, am I tweaking? Am I tweaking on saying that, like, one play like that, if you're a legit team, if you're a team that's in the playoffs like that, like, one play like that should not take you completely out of a basketball game.
Yeah. That people try to find something to rationalize things, and it makes sense. It's a natural part of processing things. It's a natural state of grief. But yeah, you can't blame this loss on anyone.
Yeah, that's what we got.
And anyone who tries to blame this just on Billy Donovan, anybody tries to blame it just on DeMar, if anyone tries to blame it just on that play from Kobe White, if anybody tries to blame it just on Lonzo Ball being out, it is not any one thing of why we lost in this manner. And watching the game, breaking down the game, taking in the game, you can clearly see that the Bulls were just outmatched, outclassed in almost every facet of the game. Anytime you're out rebounded by damn near a margin of 20, I think is what it ended up being.
Oh,
That is,
it ain't damn near 20.
it was 20. Okay,
53
see,
to 33.
when you're out rebounded at that rate, it is going to be difficult for any team to win that amount of extra possessions in one game is almost insurmountable by any team. And you know, the Bulls briefly, and this is one thing that I do want to say. The Bulls had a second in there in which in the third quarter, what they get the lead down to like 6 if I'm not mistaken.
7, I believe.
7, and it seemed like, hey, all right, maybe they're going to start putting it together. And Milwaukee immediately said, "Your soul, I want that," and snatched it and was like, "No, you're not getting exactly what happened. What we did to Toronto, they did to us. It just was not our night." And the thing is, too, it's okay. This team was not meant to be a championship contender this year. We looked amazing, and we thought, and we looked at it and said, "Hey, this team can really do some things." And you know, it's not wrong to felt that way. But at the end of the day, this team, this season was not meant to be the season where the Bulls compete for a title. This was meant to be the season where they built a blueprint and built a foundation to continue to build on. And you know, I enjoy what they did. I enjoy having a winning team. I enjoy being able to say that my Bulls are going to have a winning record for the first time in damn near 6 years, 7 years. All that feels great. But look, listen, loss like this suck, and I'm not trying to excuse losses like this, but at the end of the day, like, it's not going to crush my world. It sucks. I'm gonna dust it off as me and you talked about before we started recording. The Bulls very well can win the next 5 games.
and probably will. And all
And
of a sudden
probably will.
It'll be championship 7 again. Here's the statement, right? And we've heard it in Chicago before. Unfortunately, they are who we thought they were.
There it goes.
They are.
There
We defended them. We argued it. I defended them. I argued it. I said, no, the Bulls can beat these top teams. They've just had injuries. They did beat some of these top teams, and they technically did if we're really breaking it down, but that's a whole neither here nor there. But they did beat some of these top teams. They did go up against and get some of these wins. They are able to fight. They are able to compete. They're not. And it's fundamental things. The same things that beat us tonight is what lost us the game to the Sacramento Kings.
Mm-hmm.
The same things that got you down 20 tonight is what lost you the game to the Sacramento Kings. Wide open shots on the other end, not playing defense on one. If you want to blame Kobe White for anything, blame Kobe White for going 2 for 10. Kobe, you got one job, and you're not doing it well. You got one job, and you're not doing it well. You're not even doing it mediocre.
He's just not doing his job. Like he's not doing the job.
And I don't like for him. Like I can't say like we can't say you can't put this game on Kobe. Like I get it's not one thing, but like he went 1 for 6, and I'm not gonna lie to you, dang near all 6 of them were wide open. Like just missing again open shots. I get Alex Caruso missing shots. You know why? Because his broke wrist still technically ain't all the way healed. Like I get that. There's gonna be some rust on that. I get Pat Will missing shots. Ayo Dosunmu was an interesting one. He really wasn't knocking the shot down as much either. But like you guys they got to do their job. DeMar DeRozan can't go 10 for 23 and Zach LaVine goes 6 for 16 and we think we're gonna get a dub in here. And again, why the heck are we going away from Vooch? I get he sat.
Vooch was the only one scoring in the first half.
Bro, he sat. They brought him back in. They went to him for the first 2 plays. He got 2 buckets, and he didn't touch the ball again. I was like, hey, what happened to Vooch? I think he scored again in the 4th quarter, and I was like, it clicked with me. I said it on the live. I was like, man, I haven't said that in a long time. Like, I haven't said that in 3 quarters right now. Like, that's the part to me that frustrates me, right? They don't go to the hot hand. They don't go to the guy that's scoring. They don't go to what's working because they want to get Zach going. They want to get DeMar going. If that's a Billy Donovan thing, yeah, let's kill him for that. But the players still got to go to whoever it is. And to me, overlooking Vooch, overlooking somebody that's actually got the hot hand, it is cooking. That's a That's the same things that got you beat in Sacramento. And if that's who this team is, that's who this team is. Bulls fans, enjoy your basketball team that we have 42 wins.
And there you have it. And we're going to get into some more things in this loss against the Bucks. But first, I want to talk to you guys about Prize Picks. So, NBA fans, are you looking for a daily fantasy option for the NBA? Then you need to try the award-winning app Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a daily fantasy made easy. And so with Prize Picks, you get to pick 2 or 5 players and over or under on their projections, and you can win up to 10 times on any entry, and it's just you versus the projected numbers. Entries can be made in 60 seconds or less. It's that easy. Prize Picks is safe and offers fast withdrawals using the award-winning app on both the App Store and Google Play. Prize Picks also offers a variety of options. If you wanted to take the over on DeMar DeRozan's 3-point shots, or if you want to take the under on Zach LaVine's free throws, because we'll talk about the free throw discrepancy in this game, you can do all that on Prize Picks. Also, Prize Picks doesn't just offer NBA. They have options on college basketball, college football, NFL, Major League Baseball, soccer, MMA, and more. For a limited time, Prize Picks has an exclusive offer for all of our listeners. Users can get $50 free if any player in your first Prize Picks entry scores a single point, but you must use the code NBA. That's right, an exclusive offer just for fans of Locked On. Sign up today and use the code NBA for $50 free if any player in your first Prize Pick entry scores a single point. All right, that's it. And so let's go ahead and get into this one. Pat, Billy Donovan's coaching. It's become a sticking point for some fans. They like to blame everything on Billy Donovan. Like I said, I try to be level-headed with this. It's not just something you can blame on any one aspect of this basketball team. But what do you make of what's been going on with Billy Donovan's coaching overall? What side of the fence do you fall on when it comes to losses like this?
Billy Donovan can't make shots. Are we really going to come on here and say that the Bulls didn't have a lot of wide open shots that they didn't knock down? Billy Donovan can't tell players when to attack the hole. Billy Donovan can't tell players when to be aggressive. He can coach them. He can tell them what's the best thing for them to do. Players have to execute.
Yeah.
Billy Donovan, Zach LaVine to tell you, Billy Donovan is the best coach he's ever had. And I understand, right, that like Bulls fans have these things where they say, hey, you know, he gets outcoached in these moments. He's not doing enough here. He's not making this happen. The players got to play. Like, y'all think Greg Popovich was on the floor calling a set every single time out? No. Greg Popovich gets involved when he needs to get involved. Now, I understand that's a very different resume, but Zach LaVine went 6 for 16. He went 4 for 7 from 3. Not bad from 3, bad from the field. Okay. How we gonna say that's on Billy Donovan? DeMar DeRozan went 10 for 23. He went 1 for 5 from 3, and he started the game 1 for 7. 1 for 7. He knocked down a 3 to go 2 for 8. How's that Billy Donovan's fault? You know what I'm saying? Like the things that we want to blame on Billy are not putting an offensive set in, not putting play. But like, dog, they NBA players. They were open. If they make the shot, guess what? What do we do? We come in here and we're talking about, wow, Billy Donovan, you had a great offensive game plan tonight versus the Milwaukee Bucks. You really got after them and you knocked down shots. They didn't knock down shots. That's not Billy Donovan's fault. Defensively, how do you stop Giannis? Somebody in here tell me how you stop Giannis, and then you go to the NBA, you apply for a job, you get a head coaching job the next year, and then you go to the NBA championship. Because, like, how do you stop Drew Holiday? I think people, like, see Drew Holiday's name, and they think it's like Drew Holiday from Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? Like Drew Holiday is a bucket. Look at his game log. 29, 21. He had a 14-point game. He played 23 minutes in a 14-point game. 27, 24, 26, 25, 21. Like, he's a bucket. He gets busy. Assist-wise, just about 7+ assists most games this season. He gets the offense involved. I understand you want to throw things at them, you want to change things up defensively, but the players also got to play defense. Again, what beat the Bulls tonight? Giannis Antetokounmpo being Giannis, Drew Holiday getting through the middle, and wide open corner shots. Brook Lopez got 2 of them. Pat Connaughton got 3 of them. Didn't hit another shot the rest of the game. All his shots are 3-pointers. All from the corner. What do we want Billy Donovan to fix? Do y'all want him to just go out there and cuss him out? Y'all want to know who the coach is cussing him out? Go watch NBA TV. Go check out what Jim Boylan's got going on. That's the cuss him out coach.
Yep.
Remember, he benched the entire starting unit because they weren't playing well. Y'all like that? Go ahead. Go grab that again. Y'all go check out them 31. What we have with him? 28 wins, 26 wins, something like that. Y'all go grab that again. I don't want that. I like what Billy Donovan's done with this team. Do I think we're there? No, but I think that we're moving in the right direction. And unfortunately for Bulls fans, there's a lot of adversity here. Did the Bucks win the finals their first year going at this?
No,
like
that's the thing.
We remember 90 through 98. We don't remember 84 through 89, bro.
People, the funny thing about this is that, and this goes to a deeper thing. We live in such a microwave society now, right? Everybody wants that instant thing. And when the Bulls came out the gate playing as good as they did, Bulls fans really got this thing in their head that, okay, we can now compete.
Yeah.
Let me not say that it's never happened. No, it almost has never happened where a team has gone from being out of the playoffs to contenders. And this was always going to be progress that needed to be made, right?
It happened one time.
Like,
Bron.
So, okay, yeah.
Bron.
Yeah. Okay, fair enough. But it and that's the thing. It's just it's not realistic. We gotta have realistic expectations. And this season was never meant for the Bulls to be a championship contender this season. This was always meant to be the first step in that. Now, with that being said, Billy Donovan, I know some people have said, is Billy Donovan this team's Doug Collins? Will he get them and teach them, get them to a point of competing, and somebody else ultimately comes in and gets them over the hump? It's way too early to tell that. We're year 2 into Billy Donovan's tenure as the head coach here. I think he signed a 4-year contract, if I'm not mistaken. Let's get there, right? And see what the hell we have. Let's see how this team develops over the course of an offseason. Let's see. It could very well go that the Bulls improve the bench. Patrick Williams takes a leap over the course of the offseason. Hell, Lonzo still has another level that he can go to. And next year, we're talking about this team completely different.
Yeah.
Patience. 100%. Patience, and in that patience does not mean excuse the things that this team is doing wrong. It does not mean that. Let me be clear there. I'm not saying, hey, just be patient. Excuse forget it if they're losing. No, identify it, talk about it, have a conversation, but then realize this is not the end. This is not the
end. And this is what Bulls fans need to get. If Billy Donovan is our Doug Collins was there for a little while.
Mm-hmm.
if there's a limit to what Billy Donovan is, you have to get to the limit.
Yeah.
And when you get to the limit, then maybe you're able to get a Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
But you got to get there first. It's not going to happen year 1. I understand that, these teams are buying championships and they're doing this and guess what? They can't sustain it. The Atlanta Hawks had no struggles. You know when the Atlanta Hawks are having their struggles? Right now. They were in the Eastern Conference Finals last year. They might be a 10th seed if they can hold on to it. This is not 2K. I'm sorry that it's giving you that mindset. This is not 2K. You don't just plug people in and it works right away. Now, granted, the Bulls did play well right away. They had injuries. There's a part of that where we don't even attribute the fact that you got to work these mugs back in. So it sucks. It sucks. I'm right there with you, Bulls fans. It sucks. Listen, I got 36 inches of bullhead on my wall back here. It sucks. I rock with them. We see Red Nation out here, bro. Yeah. But I'm realistic on what this team is and what this team can do, man. And what this team can do is be a really competitive team that might not be good enough yet. That's just being realistic, man. Coming down to this last segment, man. Before we get into breaking down why the Bulls can't beat these top tier teams as we get into it, we're going to talk to you about Built Bar, man. Built Bar is here to help you hold on to that New Year's resolution. Now, we deep enough in the year, right? If you ain't gave up on it yet, you got to get in on Built Bar. Question for y'all, have y'all tried the Puffs yet? Y'all heard Haize last time. He said he tried the Puffs. He said they're fire. If you haven't, you're missing out on Built Bar's best tasting bars. The Puffs are the very first ever protein-infused marshmallow. They're fluffy. They're marshmallowy. They're not just a protein bar. They're a treat, and they're covered in 100% real chocolate. Let me break down what a regular chocolate bar is. A regular chocolate bar, you're talking about so many calories, so much sugar. You're talking about just filling your body with junk. But let me tell you what Built Bar is. 130 calories, 4 grams of sugar, 4 net carbs, and 17 grams of protein. They got a ton of flavors too. Mint brownie, coconut almond, and the new flavor, the white chocolate cookies and cream. Come on, dog. You can't even, if you don't like cookies and cream, first off, there's something wrong with you. So make sure you guys are checking out Built Bar. They make it taste good first, and then they figure out how to make it healthy, and that's what makes it so good. Go to builtbar.com and use the promo code LOCKED15 and get 15% off your order. Again, use the promo code LOCKED15 for 15% off at built.com.
All right, let's get into this topic that people bring up so much. Stat, I forgot what
Stat Muse.
I hate Stat Muse, bro. I hate
it, but I hate it. I love it.
I love it for research, right? If
Yeah.
if it's used for the correct purpose, StatMuse is an amazing tool that people used to literally have to pay for a service to get that level of detail with stats. I get it.
Yeah.
But then wanting to the Bulls are they're 0-16 against teams with better records. Shut up. Like, people completely forget that when we beat Brooklyn, right, twice, they had better records than us.
Yeah.
People forget that when we beat Denver, I think they were either number 1 or number 2 team in the West at the time when we beat Denver. Like, people forget that.
They were up there.
Yeah. So, like,
when we beat Utah, they were up there.
With that being said, Bulls struggles against top teams. It is realistic, right? I'm not saying that that's not a thing, because it is a real thing.
Yeah.
But with that being said, why are they struggling in this way? Pat, what do you think?
I think it's that there's a different level you have to get to beat these teams, and the Bulls haven't been able to consistently get to that level for a couple different reasons. One, injury, and I understand injury is an excuse. That's real though. The Bulls have been hurt this season. A lot of these games we played against these really tough teams, we were injured for, or we're just coming back from injury, and you have to work these guys back in, and you have to get these guys prepped into the game. And there's a lot of factors that play into it, but the biggest thing to me is just that the Bulls, I think it's more mentally. Like, I'm going to be real with you. Zach LaVine is one of the best scorers in the NBA.
Absolutely.
He's 70%, and he's still one of the best scorers in the NBA. When he can go give you that extra percentage, he can give you 30, 35, 40 points a game. DeMar DeRozan, not getting free throws here, but still can be one of the better scorers in the game. There's a mentality to getting over the top of these teams, though, that the Bulls haven't reached. And that's where playoff basketball comes in, right? In playoff basketball, teams punch you in the mouth all the time. The Bulls don't respond well to the punch in the mouth. And it's something they responded well to early, but versus teams that we figured they should be able to respond well to, versus the Detroits, versus Toronto. Guess what? We got punched in the mouth by Toronto again. Guess what? We still can beat Toronto. They're still a team that's at a different level than us. And so to me, they just haven't reached that point mentally where when they get, I feel like the Bulls believe the Stat Muse stat. When they get hit in the mouth and they got down or the Bucks went on a 13-point run, the game did feel, in a sense, like it was over. And the only time they come back is probably when they get the rah-rah speech from Billy Donovan coming out of the half. And you saw him come out with a very different fire in the half. But guess what? The Bucks responded to that fire, punched him in the mouth, and all of a sudden you're looking at the Bulls like, hey, what happened to that defensive intensity that started the quarter? They're not there yet. There's a mentality that comes with winning big and with getting deep into these games, and the Bulls just don't have it yet, and it's because they're in year one.
Yeah. I mean, and the thing is that this. I was processing because you're absolutely right. Like when you look at, and this, we hear this stat all the time. Zach LaVine, our best player, like you said, one of the best scorers in the NBA. No playoff experience, right? Lonzo Ball, he's not here. No playoff experience. Ayo Dosunmu is a rookie. DeMar DeRozan, Nikola Vucevic, Tristan Thompson, Alex Caruso are really the only 4 Bulls that have some real playoff experience. And Nikola Vucevic's playoff experience is getting bounced in the first round. So, shout out to that experience, right? And so with that, you are seeing a team that doesn't really know how to fight adversity yet. But that, to Pat's point again, pointing out the early years, even during the Jordan era, it happens to every team. Every team, unless you get that rare mix like Kawhi going to the Spurs, who had that, the rest of that team had so much playoff experience that Kawhi was able to lean on them. When you're dealing with a team that doesn't have a lot of that, yes, DeMar, he's gone far in the playoffs. But as we know about DeMar's not the rah-rah vocal leader. He's just not. That's not his personality type. So, this is a step as part of the process. But guess what? We're getting them playoff experience this year. Ayo, Patrick Williams, Zach LaVine, Lonzo, if he comes back, they're all going to get some much needed experience of what that atmosphere looks like. And then let's see how they bounce back. Because guess what? I'm telling you guys, I've always said some of the biggest opportunity for growth comes through failure. Growth comes from failure often. So even if they do go to the playoffs, and God forbid they're bounced out the first round or whatever else, you've now allowed them to taste something. You've allowed Zach LaVine to taste what a postseason looks like, and we know how much he obsesses over shit. You've allowed a player like Ayo Dosunmu, who's been on competitive teams every step of his basketball playing career, to taste an NBA playoffs. That's going to be good. So listen, like I said, and I know I don't want to keep going back to the same phrase. This is not the last season. What you can take away from the season and learn is going to pay dividends in year 2, in year 3, in year 4. And that's what it's a part of the plan. So
that's the thing, right? Like having that experience, putting it in place and executing the plan while adding to it, right? Because the plan is not just Zach LaVine, DeMar DeRozan, y'all go out there and play. Go out there and play. The plan is also AK. Go get more players.
Yeah.
AK, do people want to come to Chicago now? Oh, why do they want to come to Chicago? Oh, because Chicago is one of the greatest cities in the world. Like, you have to understand that there's a process to things. We're not Milwaukee. Y'all understand Milwaukee has, and no disrespect to the brother Drew Holiday at all, but y'all understand Milwaukee has the best player in the NBA. They won an NBA championship. They were competing for a championship before that. And the best player they've gotten in free agency the last couple of years is Drew Holiday. And can we say it's the other dude whose name shall not be mentioned on this podcast? Like, I mean, in free agency, and Bobby Portis?
Yeah.
Like, yes, they're pieces that fit a role, but, like, there are certain cities people don't want to go to. Chicago's not one of them. There's a lot of people that don't want to live in Milwaukee and play in Milwaukee. There's a reason Dame Lillard's going to be alone. Oh, we're going to rebuild around and put players there. He's going to be, like, Chicago, people want to come here. So there's a piece to the process that we don't even think about. We just think this is the team we're going to have. This team, listen, Kobe White might not be on this team next season.
Mm-hmm.
This team is completely different. And here come the Kobe White fans. You got to give him time. He's young. He might not be here. This is the first step of a process to get you over the hump. And there's going to be a lot of growing pains. And this is the reason why Bulls fans, when I say you're going to sign Zach LaVine, it's because he's 26 years old and DeMar's 32. You're going to sign Zach LaVine. I can't wait for that episode. I really can't. Like Bulls fans, just like, why? Why would we sign a 26-year-old offensive genius? Why?
Listen,
I love it, dog. Let me.
I can't wait for that episode, man. Listen. There's
Hey,
certain things
watch us
as a
not
content.
sign him and they run this back.
Oh yeah, that could definitely be a possibility as well. So we'll see what happens there. But we're not going to talk about that right
Yeah,
now.
you know
We're
what I'm
going to talk about it from our perspective right
Right.
now. Zach LaVine, in a season in which he injured his thumb very early on, has been dealing with knee and back, is averaging the second highest PER of his career. One of the highest point per game score totals of his career. Listen, Zach LaVine is getting the max. This shouldn't even be a question around Bulls fans.
Yeah.
He is getting the max. Now, the question that most people need to ask is he, if he qualifies for the Supermax, do they give him the full Supermax? That's the type of question. Okay, we can talk about that. But he's getting the max, people. He's getting the
that
max.
money breakdown. That's a lot of money, bro.
Bro, that is a lot of money.
That's a lot of money. He getting 50 at one point.
Yeah. Zach LaVine, 60% true shooting percentage this year.
Yeah.
Come on, man. That man's getting the max. But it is what it is. It is what it is, man. I'm not even gonna allow myself to go down this rabbit hole with some Bulls fans, man, because some people are real. Like, somebody literally told me in a comment and said that the Bulls should be trading Zach LaVine for Karl Anthony Towns right now. I was like, okay, all right. So you want to have about 38 wins?
I mean, let's be real, same dude.
Yeah, it's just different size, right?
Different
That's
size,
why they
same
like each
dude.
other so much. Like,
I mean, we being real, like 3-point shooting, driving to the bucket, dunking, same dude, just bigger.
oh my Jesus!
I know that sounds weird to say, but like
it really doesn't when you think about it. It
it's
really
kind of the same dude.
Yeah, that's just crazy.
Oh man,
that is crazy. All right, Pat, that's it from us for today, man. Unfortunately, it's not as exciting after a loss as it was after a win, but as we said, we can very well be talking about a 5-game winning streak here in a couple in the next six days or so. So it kind of is what it is, bro.
For sure, man. Hey, man, follow me on everything at Pat the Designer. Follow us on everything at Locked On Bulls as well. As y'all have seen, we got the Instagram bussin'. I got a couple of questions on there. Got in real form. Go answer some of them questions. 2 of them were should the Bulls give Zach LaVine or will Zach LaVine get the Supermax? I think that's one of them. And then the other one was how would you grade P. Will and his time back so far? So check out both of them, man. Get the answers in on that.
All righty. And you can follow me at CEO Haize, the CEO Haize. That is it. It's been another episode of Locked On Bulls. We will see you lovely and beautiful people tomorrow. Peace, y'all.
Y'all stay safe out there, man.